Have you ever wondered why your panic attacks feel like they come out of absolutely nowhere? Or why your anxiety spirals and gets worse, even when nothing bad is actually happening around you? Well, there's a reason for that. It's not random, and it is not your fault. It's a phenomenon called the panic loop. And once you understand how it works, your anxiety is going to make so much more sense. So, stay with me for the next few minutes. What you're about to learn might just explain the last 10 years of your life. The panic loop is a cycle that your brain gets stuck in when it misinterprets a normal sensation as a serious threat. It usually goes something like this. First, you feel a sensation. It could be your heart racing, a tightness in your chest, a little bit of dizziness. It might even be a thought that scares you or a memory that gets triggered. Then, your brain interprets that sensation as danger. You start thinking things like, what if I'm dying? Or what if I'm losing control? Or what if something terrible is about to happen? This interpretation immediately triggers your body to react. Your system floods with more adrenaline, which creates more fear, and that leads to even more intense physical symptoms. And of course, these new, stronger symptoms scare you even more, which starts the whole cycle all over again. It just repeats and repeats. This loop can go on for minutes, hours, or for some people, even days. It's not happening because there's something wrong with you, but because your brain genuinely thinks it's protecting you from a perceived threat. This is a crucial point. People always ask me, why did I have a panic attack? I was just sitting on my couch watching a movie. The answer is that panic isn't always caused by the outside world. It's often caused by your internal sensations, your interpretation of those sensations, and your nervous system's memory of past fear. Your brain doesn't need actual, real-world danger to trigger a panic response. It only needs a familiar feeling that it associates with fear. This is exactly why panic attacks so often happen when you finally try to relax, or when you lie down to go to sleep. They can happen when you're perfectly safe at home, tucked in your own bed. Your body is on high alert, constantly scanning for danger even when there is none to be found. I know this from personal experience. When I was 23, panic disorder completely took over my life, and I had no idea what was happening to me. My heart would suddenly start racing while I was just watching TV. My breathing would tighten up while I was sitting in a quiet. I'd feel detached from reality, dizzy, and absolutely convinced that I was about to faint right then and there. Every single sensation just made the next one feel worse. I was stuck in that terrifying loop for hours, sometimes for days on end. I wasn't afraid of being in danger. I was afraid of the feeling of fear itself, and that, right there, is the core of the panic loop, the fear of fear. The good news is that you can break this cycle, and you don't do it by trying to stop the fear, because that's nearly impossible. You do it by changing your relationship with the fear. Here's how to start. First, learn to label the sensation, not the story your mind is creating. So, instead of thinking, I'm dying, consciously say, to yourself, this is just adrenaline. Instead of panicking with the thought, I'm losing control, reframe it as, my body is having a physical reaction. By labeling the physical event, you take away the catastrophic story. Second, bring your attention down to your feet. This is a powerful grounding technique that interrupts the panic. Really focus on the feeling of your feet on the floor. What's the temperature? Can you feel the pressure of your body weight? This simple shift pulls you out of your fear brain and back into the present moment, into your body. Third, and this is a secret weapon, focus on a slow exhale. Most people try to take a deep breath in, but the real magic is in the exhale. A longer, slower exhale sends a direct signal to your nervous system that says, we are safe. It activates your body's relaxation response. Fourth, don't fight the sensation. Instead, just observe it. Fighting panic is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It just fuels the cycle. Observing it is the medicine. You can even say to the fear, okay, you're here. Do what you need to do. This simple act of acceptance can completely disarm the loop. And fifth, try to wait for 90 seconds. Scientific research shows that the hormonal surge of fear, the adrenaline rush, only lasts for about 90 seconds unless you keep feeding it with scary thoughts. If you can stop interpreting the sensations as danger for just that short amount of time, the entire fear response will often just collapse on its own. Now, here's the part that nobody really tells you about anxiety. Your panic loop is not a malfunction. It's a misfired survival instinct. Your brain genuinely thinks it's saving your life from a predator. The fear itself is not the enemy here. The enemy is your interpretation of that fear. Once you learn to speak the language of your own nervous system, once you understand what it's trying to do and why panic begins to lose its power over you, you start to see it not as a monster, but as a misguided protector, and from that place, you can finally begin to heal. If this video helped you, please subscribe for more daily recovery videos. You can also download our free workbook at Free From Addiction. Net, it's designed to help you break the panic and anxiety cycle for good. Thanks for watching.